what's up guys? This is Church of Caboose, and for today's Destiny 2 video, we're going to be talking about the 5 things you should be doing to prepare for a new season or content drop. Some friends of mine were like, hey, you usually put out a video like this before each season, but they kind of tend to be the same thing. We think you should do something that's more generic that applies to all of Destiny 2, and so that's the whole point of this video, so you guys just have a good rule of thumb for the remaining lifetime of Destiny 2 for what you should be doing to get ready for the new content and or season. Before we get too far into it, if you do enjoy the video, please click that like button. And if you want to see more content by me, then I would love it if you guys subscribed and helped me achieve my own personal goals. Alright, so number 1, have 3 characters, for the love of God. Have 3 characters. It makes everything from powering up to just having more resources so much easier. You have more options when you do endgame. You are able to fit into more different varieties. You can get more rewards. So have 3 characters. It doesn't matter if you want to only play on one once you hit that max power for the season, but having all 3 greatly speeds it up. And here's why. Say I start off on my Warlock. I will have a base power for June 9th of 1010. I play around, get all my rewards that I do, and then I might have weapons and an average of, say, 1015. Then I transfer over those weapons to, say, my Hunter. Then my Hunter would start off the bat a higher base power average than my Warlock at, say, hypothetically, 1012. So then everything I get on that character for rewards would probably put me up closer to the 1020 range. Then when I switch him over to my main character, which is my Titan, or I like to say Titan, then my Titan will start off at, hypothetically, 1018 to 1025, which means every single piece of gear I get to drop is going to be really high compared to when I first started off. And that is how the pros get through everything. Oftentimes folks will do just the powerfuls, and then when they're high enough, cycle back through and do the pinnacles. That part's up to you. It's just really foolish if you love Destiny and you play a lot on one character to only have one character and to not make 3. I run into folks all the time who are, say, 1,000 power. I'm like, dude, like, it's been 3 months. Like, why are you only 1,000 power? I'm like, I only play on my Hunter. Oh, like, cool. Like, you play like an hour a day or something? Like, no, like, I play like 30 hours a week. I'm like, what? You know, like, most of that time you're not even getting rewards, and you could have been rotating, doing the same stuff you like doing on other characters, and you'd probably be max power by now. So make sure you guys have 3 characters. Tip number 2 that I'm going to be doing, bounty savings. Assuming the seasonal rank model and the artifact model holds true for the remainder of Destiny 2, then make sure you guys are, every time you get to a couple weeks before a new season dropping, stock up on as many bounties as you can on all your characters. The max you can hold, I believe, is either 50 or 55. And you also have to take into account your quests. So if you've got 30 quests, then you can only hold 20 to 25 bounties. So make sure you get your quests finished, or just delete the ones that are duplicates, because for some exotics you can have 3 of those exotic quests. You finished it on one character, so you can just pull it out of collections if you really want to get that weapon on again, or just transfer it over. So there's no point to losing bounty space by hanging on to old quests. I deleted some ones that I was able to, and now I'm able to hold up to 45 bounties on my Titan. So make sure you guys are getting as many bounties as you can. When that new season starts, this is what I do. I turn in all my bounties on that one character, then I start playing and I re-pick up more bounties. And then when I transfer over to my second character, I turn in all my bounties on that character. This last season, on the first, I think it was within the first 3 days of Season of the Worthy, I had a seasonal rank of 24 and an artifact rank of 4 because of all of those bounties. That put me at a huge advantage for loot and all of that good stuff. And the seasonal rank also will help you guys to level up. That gets rather complicated if you're looking at your season rank because of bounties. Don't just be picking up all the rewards willy-nilly. Look and see if it would boost any of your current power and if it's worth boosting, which we'll talk a little bit more when we get closer to the 5th tip. Tip number 3, Get as many resources, this includes things like tokens, ascendant shards, glimmer, enhancement prisms, and enhancement modules, and enhancement cores as possible. Whenever new content drops, oftentimes what holds people back is not having enough resources to either participate in the new content or to get random rolls of stuff, because these planetary vendors take that planetary resource oftentimes and will give you legendary rewards. And those rewards, as long as you Google and look it up which one it is for the day, can give you powerful rewards that will let you kind of creep yourself up before you get into the actual powerful rewards. So if you have lots of planetary materials, you are able to get your power higher up. I also say to turn in all of your tokens, such as the Crucible and Vanguard tokens, because when you turn in those tokens, you get legendary rewards, and you can dismantle those legendary rewards to get ascendant shards, and then you can use those ascendant shards to buy planetary materials from Spider, which in turn lets you to have more stuff to turn in from things with the vendors. So you kind of see how all those resources tie in. It's also worth noting that Master Nightfalls are a great way to farm for those armor masterworking materials. Unfortunately, sunsetting is going to become a thing called the fall of 2020, and they take lots of materials to masterwork those armors and a good amount of materials to masterwork weapons. So if you do lots of Master Nightfalls at the platinum level, you are easily able to get lots of ascendant shards, lots of glimmer, and masterworking materials that are very expensive to buy from Banshee. Alright, number 4, be the highest base power you can be. Be the highest base power. This is so key. If you are at, say, 980 base power, as I'm recording at the end of May, and the next season comes around, all the folks like me that are 1010 base power, we're starting off being able to play all the brand new content, and we are not having a handicap from having to play catch up from the season before when it comes to doing things like World First raids, Week 1 raids, Day 1 clears, and trying to do all that challenging stuff that a lot of folks, or at least I find to be very fun. And so if you have your characters as high of a base power as you possibly can be, you have less catch up to do, you can join more LFG groups, and you just in general have more options of things you can do within the game, and you get to take advantage of those pinnacle rewards and all that stuff much earlier, which enables you to maybe be like me and hit the base power within the first month or two of a season. Number 5, think before you delete or infuse. This is so key, and it ties really well into the resources. It's also my last tip. If you have, say, a 1011 sidearm, and you have a 1012 blue weapon, does it really make a whole lot of sense to infuse that sidearm up by 1 light? Probably not. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. 1 light's not going to give you a whole lot of options, and you just blew some resources that you could have used more to your own benefit later on. The only time I really do infusing is when I am trying to do a raid, and I'm just like, you know what, guys, I'm really struggling with DPS. I think I've got something that's significantly higher than what I'm currently using. Let me just infuse it real quick. Then my power overall comes up. I didn't really waste the resource material because I usually wait to have a 10 plus bump. So I might have a 1011 sidearm. I then infuse something to 1021. That is totally worth it because you get to keep using something you enjoy using. You are better set to finish whatever activity it is you are working on, and it's just overall beneficial to you and your teammates. Also, make sure you guys think before you delete. We get tons of blues, tons and tons of blues. I think blues are stupid, and at some point they need to have like a thing where they don't drop for you anymore. But for a while, with new content, blues could be your highest piece of gear. So make sure you're checking and comparing whatever is dropping to whatever you have on, because if it's higher, you might as well keep it. And if it's higher, you don't have to necessarily use it. So say you get some dumb blue shotgun, you're like, well, this is stupid, I'm not going to use it. Before you delete it, just leave it on your character. Leave it in the inventory of that weapon or gear slot, because the game, as it's set up now, will account for your highest possible power level. Not what your highest equipped is, but your highest possible based off of everything in your inventory. So that's kind of what I suggest you guys make sure you do when it comes to trying to power up, and especially when it comes to infusing. Just be smart, guys, with how you are infusing and using your resources. They are hard to come by. I am actually rather miffed the armor is getting sunsetted because you've got, I believe someone broke it down to being something like 60 to 70 different possibilities of armor rolls, whereas weapons are something like 30 to 40, and so armor takes forever to get the exact drop that you want, and then the masterwork, it takes lots of resources, and if you're new in a content, you could be doing tons and tons of infusing, which means you'll blow through your glimmer, you'll blow through your planetary resources, everything really quick. And just think before you ink, think before you delete, so that way you just make your life a little bit easier and you don't necessarily have to do that really challenging content that would reward you with those things that you maybe needlessly spent. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please let me know if there's anything you like to do for getting ready for a new season that I perhaps haven't listed. Who knows? Like, these are just the 5 things that I try really hard to do every season. So I want to go ahead and conclude this video and get back to my bounty grind of preparing and getting ready for our June 2020 expansion. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.